Hello, and welcome to this live. I have decided to start bringing my videos from Facebook over to YouTube. Anyways, I'm just going to try it and see how it works out. So it might take some time for you guys to move over and catch my lives over here or my uploaded videos, as I'm going to be bringing my gifts to YouTube and seeing what happens from there. So just as an introduction, usually how I do these videos is I've already pre-laid out some cards which I shuffle and prepare just before the video, just to get the energies of what's going on right now and what's coming up for us this week, but also exploring a couple themes that are going on from the past couple months, from the past couple weeks, couple days. So we'll see what we get into here. And as I get into the flow of doing this on YouTube, I'll be posting which decks I'm using or going to be using, so you guys can get into which decks I'm usually utilizing and if that's for you or not. So let's get started with a couple of the themes that are going on in the past couple days that I've recognized. And one of those themes is the theme of time, or feeling like time is crunched, that we don't have enough time, feeling of being stifled in a way where we wish we had done more, or we wish we had more time, or being kind of aggravated about current circumstances in terms of time as a currency. So we spend our time working to receive money, to purchase things. So time essentially in itself is a currency. So trying this week to utilize your time the best you can, but also if you feel that kind of impending doom or crunch of not having enough time, or feeling you should be further than you are, that is a good opportunity to step back and ground yourself and try to tap into the feeling of you have more than enough time. The concept of divine timing, everything that is meant for you will meet you where you are at the right and perfect time. Therefore, you're not going to miss anything because you need some extra sleep. You're not going to miss anything because you need to put something off for a couple months because you don't feel ready. And that leads us into another theme or topic that is coming up right now, is readiness. So when we're manifesting and we're trying to bring something towards us or invite something into our lives, whether it's new or something we've been working on for a while, sometimes we kind of, talk it up quite a bit in terms of believing that we're ready. And then we get to this point, and this has come up in a few readings that I've been observing. I follow Mystic Moon, Aqua Moonlight, Cheryl Lee Hamish. And you may or may not be familiar with those readers, but they're fantastic. So check them out if you get a chance. But there's this familiar kind of idea that something that we've been wanting is preparing itself, is gestating, is becoming ready to see the light of day, so to speak. And we've been asking for this, and we've been praying for this, or manifesting this, whatever that means to you. And so it's asking yourself, are you ready? Do you feel ready to seize that opportunity when it comes your way? And so just sitting with that this weekend, for the rest of the weekend, and coming into the early week, asking yourself, am I ready for what I've called in? And if you're not, simply continue to take those small steps towards your goals, whether that's getting more sleep, eating healthier, hitting the gym a couple times, writing, journaling, just anything that you can do that is, the minuscule little snail step that will assist you in feeling or being more ready for those big kind of manifestations and goals that you have invited in. So there's a lot of exciting energies about. The only other thing I wanted to tap into, because there was some restless energies at the end of last week. I'm not sure if you guys felt that, but very, irritated people, short fuses, focusing on things which trigger you. And perhaps you kind of dove into, why is this triggering me? Some humanitarian aspects of you might be kind of being pulled out a little bit in terms of what you deem necessary in terms of for what you seek justice for or seek balance for. But watch where you're being triggered, who's triggering you, because we have a little bit of the wasp energy. And so being aware of not to sting or get stung, and really just becoming aware of how a trigger is an invitation to learn more about yourself in terms of how you respond to certain things. So in the tarot oracle that I use, WASP is about retaliation, anger, jealousy. So when you pull that card, you're thinking, oh no, this is great, fantastic. But I caught at the tail end of a Russell Brand video on Facebook at some point in the last day or two, and he was talking about envy as an invitation not to compare oneself to another, rather an invitation to connect closer to your authentic self, your authentic nature. And so that oneness. So if you're jealous or envious of something that someone else has, it's merely an invitation to take more steps to get you closer to your ultimate goals. So it's not really about the other person per se, it's what you feel a lack of. So kind of doing some course corrections for yourself, because the universe is doing some major course corrections at this time. And so we can help things along by when we notice something, when we are aware of something, to bring it back to ourselves and what we truly want and our inherent nature, which is love, kind of devoid of fear or anxiety. So let's jump into the reading and see what kind of energies we've got going on. The first cards I'm going to pull, we've got the Sacred Rebel Oracle by Lana Fairchild. We've got the Wisdom of Avalon by Colette Baron Reed. And then we've got, I haven't used these in a while, but I was guided to pull with them today. So the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle cards. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with this beauty little deck. I haven't seen it used that often, but it's a Wild Woman mystery cards. And these ones are really fantastic, kind of get into that inner goddess or god energy. So we've got those ones. And then I have a cute little deck by Cassidy, Pauline Cassidy, Fairy Reflections. And I have one card pulled from her. So let's dive in and see what kind of themes we've got going on here. This one is a repetitive card that I find is just reminding us that what we want wants us too. There is a divine chemistry, a divine pull for that which is meant for us. So it can't miss us. You know, going back to that time, feeling like we missed out on something, or there was a missed opportunity or a lost opportunity. There will be time in better circumstances, in a better climate, you know, for our own lives and other people's lives, where things will come together more easily. So moving out of a time of darkness into a time of more light, more ease, more grace, because we ourselves have changed into a more surrendered state. So what you want wants you, resonating to the number 7, a reminder, and we have the spirals here, the reminder that all in good time, be patient, but also know your worthiness of it. So know that it is coming. It's not a question of if, it's more a question of when. So it's also just, you know, generating patience to be okay with when that when is, and not setting out expectations, timelines, guidelines for when that lands for you. This could be a job. It could be a relationship. Could be a reconciliation with someone from your past. It could be any number of things that you have, you know, specific to your life path at this time, because there are many things going on beneath the surface. And those things that we don't know, that we can't see, we're really being asked to rely on our intuition at this time, to rely on the universe's signs and synchronicities to assist us in trusting that everything that we see is not as it seems at this point. So know that even if you can't see it, taste it, touch it at this time, it is heading your way. And since this is actually in the past position, it indicates that it's actually here. So perhaps why I started the intro with being ready for what you've asked for, being ready for your dreams to actually show up on your doorstep. So this one is a really exciting card here. And to clarify that, we have the horse. So accepting help from another, delegating authority, resonating to the number 8. So this is all about your personal power, reclaiming your personal power. And with that, what you want wants you. It's knowing, it's standing in that truth, it's standing in that authenticity, that you trust the universe to deliver what is absolutely best for you at this time. And it's also allowing yourself to receive from the universe first and foremost, from yourself first and foremost, and then others, allowing other people to help you on your path. So the universe is sending people to assist you at this time. And that could be with finances, could be with how to work on debt. It could be strategic moves in terms of getting to your goals. There's a lot of different ways people can help us at this time, because this is really moving from an energy of being independent, but not needing anyone else's help, kind of as a catch-all kind of rejection of needing help because that makes you feel inferior. It's actually, no, I am totally open and willing to receive help because that makes me feel powerful and strong, because I know this is a community effort. I know it takes all the puzzle pieces, and it's about more than just me. So that is a very good perspective to come into this week with, knowing that it is totally 100% okay to accept help and delegate to others. So if there's too much on your plate, delegate to others. Release some of the burden. And for our healing, we have stretch. So, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for staying by my side and motivating me to take excellent care of myself in all ways. I've been feeling this one too, actually. I have a really tight neck, and I've had this kind of, kink in my neck for maybe the past couple days. And I've been meaning to do some yoga and stretch it out. And so I've been doing some, little stretches to try to work on that there, but it's still kind of hanging around. So I think what's being indicated here is that our bodies are going through quite a lot of stress, because we're in a state of endurance, enduring a dark time, enduring kind of the void where we're learning, where we're introspecting, and we're going in, as deep as we possibly can. And there's a lot of grief, and there's a lot of worry and anxiety about the future and what's going to be happening. And so it's a really good time to invest a little more and commit to disciplining ourselves, to stretch, to do yoga, to either meditate when we get up or before we go to bed, just to help assist our bodies in being a little bit more flexible, so that can match our mentality of being more flexible about how life delivers what we've asked for. So let's go into our current present energies. This is another one by the Sacred Rebel, Against the Grain. So those of you who are watching, those of you who are part of my tribe and are here to listen to this message or find yourself here, you guys are a little different in that there's this humanitarian aspect to you. You might be an empath, you might be an earth angel, or resonate with the light worker concept, but you know that light work is just as equally about shadow work, and that there is a balance of both worlds. So you can't be helping people in that love and light arena if you haven't done the deep and kind of dirty, gritty work of going into your own underworld, your own subconscious. And so this kind of talks about, being the psychedelic sheep, the black sheep, and going against the grain, resonating to the number 4 as well. So this is a card about balancing your innate, unique nature, that sensitivity, being that superpower. Sometimes it can get really overwhelming, where we feel like an odd one out. We feel like everybody else has what they want, whether that be car, babies, marriage, whatever it is. But we know instinctively that we don't necessarily want exactly what they have in the form that they have it, but we just don't feel like we have what we've been working hard for. So this one is saying, continue to go against the grain. It is part of your path. It is part of your nature. You believe things that other people don't have the foresight to understand that that is actually a possibility in reality. So you may be kind of considered a dreamer or optimistic. However, there is a certain part of you that is built for that. So continue to hold space for those dreams and don't be deterred by other people who may not have the mental capacity or ability to see things in the way you see them. So how the world could be, how we could come together more, be more united, be more of a team. That is something that is important that you don't give up on. So in clarifying that, we have the wind fairy resonating to the number 11. So we have that as, people who are even on twin flame journey, who are on very important soulmate paths, where there's a lot of challenging work being done, meaning you might have felt a lot of grief. And that came up with the 555 timestamp there. So we do have a few people on that twin flame journey or very important soulmate contracts, karmic completion, etc. So you're doing an amazing job. And this one says thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. So we don't want to stay too much in our mind, but with that going against the grain, we want to also be grounded in that. We want to have that balance, the kind of king of air energy where we understand the realities, but we also understand how it could be. And we strive to move ourselves to that place. We strive to stand in that authenticity for ourselves. So it's very good to kind of release those overanalyzing thoughts, but coming to a place where you are gentle within your own mindscape so that you're being kind to yourself first and foremost, so that you can be kind to others as well with your leadership skills and with your advice, because you're, of course, naturally a person that people come to for advice. So our clarifying card for the healing is prayer works. Thank you for hearing and answering my prayer. So this one can work one of two ways. Also saying that continue to talk to your guides, continue to be engaged with your guides, angels, animal totems, because that's going to really help you at this time. And expressing gratitude for their assistance is also important, but continuing to ask for what you need. And the universe, of course, is going to filter that with what's highest and best for you and others in the situation, but continue to ask for what you need. Continue to voice what you require, what you want, what your dreams are to the universe. So you're actively participating in this co-creation. And the word wants to be written. Number 42, resonating to the number 6. So this is also resonating to that Lover's card. So we do have this energy around relationships, meaning that there is something we're trying to bring into form. There's something that we're trying to land here in terms of bringing heaven to earth kind of, and also creating what we were meant to create and kind of birthing that which has been latent or hidden within us over either lifetimes or this lifetime, because the word wants to be written. So very close to what you want wants you. That part of you that's remained hidden wants to bloom, wants to blossom, wants to come out at the perfect and right time to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to be recognized. So this can be also about writing. So journaling, writing, coming on to YouTube or running a women's circle or a men's group, bringing what you have to offer into the world, into form. So this is really about that manifestation, those big manifestations. So be ready to create more. This is going to be a week about really tapping into what you want to create and what you have the energy to create at this time. Also asking for the resources that you require to create more. Because when you create, when you're victorious, when you bring it in, it just it's an act of service for others, right? So, another thing with that is you may have felt, I don't want to serve anymore. I'm done with this because of a lot of the challenge and grief that has been coming up for many people. Well, something I'd like to say about that is there's this concept of, you can't really shirk that service necessarily, because in order to lead, you have to have this element of surrender about your service. However, there is a time when we are going within and we're taking time for ourselves, and we need that to be able to serve. So if you're taking a break, if you're taking a hiatus, then that is exactly what you need to be doing, so that when you are ready, and that time may be coming up very soon, you can re-engage with your level of service, because the service that you provided before is now just going to have leveled up. Even despite feelings of not wanting to participate anymore, not wanting to feel used, etc. But that, of course, is part of the fear and anxiety that we have developed over being used or having weak boundaries in the past. So now that we have ever increasingly healthy boundaries and we're moving forward in our truth and authenticity, we're going to find that we'll be sidestepping those energies of sabotage, or, not taking shortcuts for instant gratification. We're really going to be keeping our eye on the long run, the long haul here. So building on steady foundations. So the clarifying card we have for that is the Grail Knight. Now, this is pretty funny because I didn't intend for this to be a relationship reading, but we are getting some heavy messages here in terms of what I brought up before about soulmates or twin flames. This one is romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred, resonating to number 6, which is also the number of the lovers in the tarot. So we have this energy of choices, of divine timing, of really thinking things through, of sifting through what is illusion and what is truth. So what's coming from the heart, what's coming from the mind, is there a balance of both? A really powerful energy to go with the word wants to be written. So that relationship, that energy wants to come through for you. So what you want wants you. You are lovable. You are worthy of that which you are trying to bring in, whether it's healing an existing relationship or bringing in someone that can meet you as an equal and doesn't run away, or has, looked deep within themselves. And so, the mirroring that you will do in the future is going to be actually just helping you grow, but there's going to be this element of peace that is attached to that as well. Sorry, that's George. So say hi to George. So the energy that's going on for this one here, and there, I think my sister's just come to say hello. George, that's enough. So he's going to go say hi. So the energy that comes with the word wants to be written and the Grail Knight is expect a miracle. And this is interesting also coming from the middle card, that energy of prayer works. So there's something that has been in the works from the divine for a consistent amount of time now that you've probably been aware of. It's been hinted at that there's something beyond what you can see going on beneath the surface. So this energy that you don't know everything, you can't see everything, you don't know what you don't know. So don't be surprised if something like a miracle comes through for you this week, where there is, a connection or partnership or energy of romance, connection that comes through because it wants to come through. And, it's both in alignment with that number 6 and number 6. So it is definitely related to romantic relationship. And, just take it slow, communicate wisely, communicate from the heart, stay grounded, and really take the time to look at the situation and listen to what's being said. So some very beautiful energies coming up for this week, some very empowering energies. This one is very interesting. So we have the Courage card. And I love this deck because it's very soft and nurturing. So this one is courage is found in the power of the heart's truth. So whatever is coming through this week, it could be a message from somebody, it could be, an invitation on a date or whatnot. But you're really going to have to tap into what's in your heart. What is the truth about this situation? What are your fears about the situation? And moving forward with courage, because it might be taking a risk again, and you might not feel quite ready to take a risk, but you're really going to have to dive deep and consult with your team, because it might be exactly what you are meant to do and exactly what you have been kind of praying for. So a very interesting energy indeed. So I'm going to see if I can read some of the courage card. So courage. Courage is the strength within that keeps you moving closer to your dreams. So we have not given up, which is beautiful. It is a seeker of justice and truth, and with courage, you'll be able to face challenges and conflict head on. In the past, we might have been afraid of conflict because we didn't feel we had the tools and resources necessary to work through conflict. But now, like I said, with those healthier boundaries, with a healthier understanding of our toxic traits and where we learned them and how they come into play in our communications or relationships, we're much better off in terms of actually dealing with conflict. So it takes many forms, but because courage is derived from love, it's found in the power of the heart's truth. And life itself surely demands a great deal of courage. We really begin to live when we are no longer afraid. Courage is standing up for your beliefs, even when those around you aren't doing the same. It's the sheer power within to overcome fear and injustice. With courage, you'll be able to confront pain, fear, and uncertainty. It's choosing to do the right thing. Yet think carefully before you act, as opposed to jumping into a dangerous situation without thought. There's that reminder once again. Take time to think this over. And then having that time energy that I spoke about in the beginning, take the time. You have time to, mull it over. But don't get too over analytical. Courage is not about a gun in the hand, adrenaline stunts, feats of physical strength, or doing anything that could be foolishly harmful to yourself or others. At the heart of courage is always acting with forethought, anticipation, and understanding of the most probable consequences your actions may bring. Courage happens when the body, mind, and soul interact and connect for the best, highest purpose. Do the best you can without swerving from your path. The true test of courage is in your daily life. You possess the courage to speak your mind, speak up for yourself, and do the right thing. Face your demons. You'll notice how much better you'll feel when you cease to allow yourself to be controlled by that which you dread. So tapping into what are your fears at this time and how you can mobilize yourself to go, okay, I'm strong enough to actually face that fear. If that worst actually happened, I'm strong enough to face that fear. Oftentimes, your deepest fears are really not so terrifying when they're examined in detail. Thinking and acting with clarity of mind and making logical decisions in difficult situations where most would become paralyzed by fear, these are traits of courage. Courage is a quality that exists in everyone, right in the heart's core, waiting to be nudged. You'll want to look back on your life one day with the feeling that you did all you dreamt of accomplishing. Taking risks will allow you to live a full, rich, and satisfying life. If you're facing intimidation, doubt, or worry, carry with you the knowledge that you can always awaken the courage that lies within, and it can be revived no matter how long it's been lying dormant. Finally, courage is also that marvelous and mysterious leap of faith that allows truth to be revealed. And so it's very interesting that it says, expect a miracle. We've got the Grail Night, which is in terms of romance and love and connection. And the word wants to be written, resonating to number 6. So there's something very important that's coming up. And it's important that we stay grounded. We think it through, but we be willing to take a risk and act on our heart. We act with courage. And so know that takes some time to let the energy of this situation sit with you. Don't act on it right away, or try not to act out of that reaction energy, but listen with your heart, listen with your mind, listen with your soul, and then act, because it might be exactly what you've been waiting for. And the final card we have is Instinct, and this is from the Wild Woman Mystery Cards. And this one is kind of funny because that is the last card that I pulled from this deck. So today's reading is going to be a little bit shorter, just kind of while I get into moving from the Facebook forum onto this one. And I usually pull cards as well. If I'm doing a live, I'll offer to pull cards for my viewers who are watching live. If I can, I'll pick a few. So this one is Instinct. We were given first instincts by the amazing grace of the sacred wild woman, pure and simple. It is our primal nature, a quality that returns us from our forgotten selves. We learn young to tame this instinct, to confuse and complicate its function, panicking our mind with nothing but the cry of our own distrust. trained out of its natural lust for who we are, our innate knowing of how to respond to the stimulus presented to us in our lives. As odd as it sounds, wild woman, you must train yourself to listen. Oh, there's another duplicate message here. And attend to the wild in you, speaking its language to lend a hand on your path. Manage your sensitivity and the valued truth of your core essence by paying attention to the distinct action of that first full, fearless quality of body sense. So when this person comes to you, or when this message comes for you, it's going to be something that touches your soul in some way. It's going to be a big opportunity, or it could be a ploy, but it feels like you have the power to discern what it is. Pay attention to your first natural instinct of it. Do you feel light? Do you feel a knot in your stomach? Do you feel elated? Do you feel just peaceful? Try to tap into what you really feel with regards to the situation. Hold your arms out in doubt of those who are unclear, as they confuse the natural feeling to simply know what to do by listening and observing. Allow the first sensation of truth inside you to inform your doubt of self and orient your feelings home. Bring your sensing muscle into play and uncover the wisdom of your body. Don't let your power leave your essence by abandoning your first desire and channeling it through deceit. Observe the language of your body. Respond with your heart. Witness your clarity. Stay present. Your organic nature will not deceive you. So this is really about trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition. It's nobody else's decision. And so this might be one where other people would not understand it, but you're going to have to make that decision for yourself and only yourself and how you feel. Reclaim that which you are born with. Listen to the awareness that lives inside your body, the intellect of the wild we all come to the earth in the company of, and have a responsibility to respond to. Use it as a compass to your genuineness and let authenticity step in with its soft strength. Then nothing will compromise you in that moment to leave yourself lost, as in fact you do have what you need to follow your path. Return to this knowing. When in doubt, don't. When you know, do. Leave the rest. There is nothing to fix. Very, very clear messages for us here in regards to a big decision coming up. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your body, trust your intuition. And if it's a no, it's a no. And you'll move on from there. If it's a heck yes, it's a heck yes. And you'll figure out the rest from there. But no, either way, you are supported, because we did have that what you want wants you with the power card of the horse and also against the grain. So it is not going to look like something normal. It just isn't. Those are the people who are going to be finding their way to this page. Your outliers, your leaders. You're not kind of in the realm of normal, right? So the word wants to be written. There is something trying to be birthed, and it is important that you know you have the strength to say yes or no, whichever is right for you at this time. But there is going to be something coming in. There is going to be a choice to be made, and it may very well relate to a romantic relationship or a big decision that actually influences your intimate connections with others. So stay tuned. It's going to be a very interesting week. I have to say my curiosity is very piqued because these messages seem to be very synchronistic and repetitive. So thank you for tuning in this time. And I am assuming my videos will be a little bit longer as I get my backdrop and everything together. For doing some themes and having a little fun with what I want to bring to the table. If you have any suggestions, leave those on the comments on what your heart and your soul want to see in terms of tarot readings and channeling, because there are many people on the on the YouTube already, many people on Facebook, many people out there. And so I'm just going to be bringing what feels right to me. But if there's something that you feel is being called for, then just let me know and I'll tap into if that feels right for me to bring forward in the future. But I'm going to be having a little bit of fun with it. So thanks for tuning in today. Like, share, subscribe. Find me on Facebook as well, or Kindred Heart Tarot or Mollie Kindred. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining in, and have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. You guys have everything you need to make this decision moving forward. So blessings to you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.